before I start asking a question, I want to ask you that what is who is Gabriel? Like if you can define yourself in a few words.
I've always described myself as a blue-collar businessman. When it comes to work, as a human being, I absolutely enjoy being a dad. I absolutely enjoy being a husband, and I'm learning how to be a better friend to a lot of people. And I'm also constantly learning how to be a better boss.
Okay.
I think as a person, I would describe myself as a person who knows what I want and will possibly sacrifice anything and everything to get to the place because of the purpose behind it.
Okay, lovely. So currently you have a venture called the Score Campus, and before that you also had one venture back in Singapore. But then because of SARS, you had to shut it down, and then again you had some other work, and then you started again. Then we have COVID. So it is. I know that it's not been easy for you to have this journey. You have a lot of ups and downs. If you can also showcase that, how did you overcome your ups and downs, and what was the main thing which really motivates you in life?
The thing is, okay, for me, the gift that I've always had is I seem to be quite good with human dynamics. It's always been a gift.
Okay.
I can relate to people very well. I can coach people very well. I can kind of help people see a better version of themselves. I didn't learn this in school. I didn't go to university for this. It was like a gift. I've always known since the age of 24, 25 that I've had this gift. As an engineer by training, I always love being an engineer, but engineering is, you go work for somebody, that fella gives you a nice paycheck, you live that life.
Yeah.
When I came back to Singapore, I realized that Singapore students kind of did not have a life.
Okay.
We were all highly fatigued, highly stressed. So I challenged myself and I said, you know what, every student deserves to go out and play for 1 hour per day. Every student deserves a place to come to where the place is very happy. So in 2003, I first ventured out and I built the world's biggest sports academy.
Okay.
I didn't know, young man, 32 years old, don't know what you're thinking about, it's like, oh, exciting, what, I'm going to be the next Bill Gates of education or Steve Jobs of education or something like that. I built it. I wouldn't say SARS killed me. I think my decisions killed me. I think SARS played a very good role. I built something that was way too big, way too fast. And people were not ready for it.
Okay.
People were not ready for something like what I built. If I build it now, yes. But back then, people were not. Actually, even now, I don't think people are ready for it. So I had this thing whereby it's like a clubhouse. Your students come here, they learn together, they play sports together, they become a family together. It's like a clubhouse, it's like a club membership. And you have coaches here who are very positive, they will coach your kids and everything. The idea sounded very nice in my head. The idea sounded very nice in my head, but of course I didn't expect the cost of one football field to be $300,000. And I had 10 of them.
Wow.
I had 10 of them. So that was like $3 million gone right there. The cost of the center upstairs, I had 24 rooms. Each room was about 1,500 to 1,800 square feet. The entire renovation, the rental, the staff cost, everything was, yes, I knew the numbers, but I think I was a little bit overconfident as well. My thought process was, like, build it. You're a fighter, you go and fight the good fight. So the attitude was all good, but I think the basic mathematics went wrong.
Okay.
Basic mathematics went wrong. When SARS came, of course, even the little bit of money was coming in stopped.
Yeah.
So that was your indicators. Like, first of all, every month, only little bit of money was coming in, because honest to God, I didn't feel that our staff lived up to the place as well. The place was amazing. Everything was amazing, but the staff, we were just not good enough as a team. I think that was the major failure. And however much I trained, I couldn't bring out that human dynamic. So that one, I accepted failure back then. It's like, it's my fault. I lost all $9.7 million was my fault.
Wow.
How do you come out of some? Of course, naturally, the truth is you go into depression.
Yeah.
I'm only human. Like, it's not $1, $2, right? It's like, even if you lose $20,000, your heart will sink. Absolutely. So if somebody loses $9 to $10 million, you go crazy. For a while, your head spins. You know, you don't know what to do. You go through all those emotions, and I think that is something you just have to go through, you know. And people always ask me, oh, how did you come out? How did you come out? How did you come out? It's like, don't think about coming out without understanding that all these things will happen. People will say bad things about you.
Yeah.
You know, everybody will look at you as a cheat, as a crook, as the person who stole their money, took their money, wasted their money. Everybody will say that.
Yes.
Especially when you have taken other people's money. If you didn't take other people's money, okay, good for you.
Yeah.
You know, you can look at the person, you can look at anybody and say, oh, it's my money, I wasted it, none of your business. But if you have taken anybody's money, even if it is $1, I tell you, you better be ready for music, you know. And I went through that. And my closest friend said I'm a cheat, you know, without realizing that my heart was at the right place and it was a mistake. Right? People didn't look at it as a mistake. People look at it as, oh, you know what? You took the money and you hide it somewhere, you know, and all that. A lot of things were said about me. So I think that's another whole show by itself. And I think the first decision is you've got to ask yourself whether you're a good person or do you start believing other people. That is the biggest struggle. I tell you, if there's one fight that I had to go through, that was the fight. Because after a while, you start believing everybody else. Maybe you are a cheat. Maybe you are a lousy person. Maybe you are a lousy businessman. You start believing other people. So that was the biggest fight. The biggest fight was, you know, it's like, it's over. So the first decision I had to make was, I got to condition my brain to tell myself that I'm a good human being. Again and again, I had to condition myself, you know, Gabriel, you're good. You screwed up. Come back. And after that, you have to figure out, even though $9.7 million was lost, the hard cash that I owed people was about $880,000.
Okay.
Were there partners? Yes. Did they run away? Also, yes. You know, you know, everybody ran away. And I thought initially, $880,000 divided by 7 or 8 partners, it doesn't look very scary. It doesn't sound scary.
Yeah.
But suddenly when everybody runs away, all $880,000 is now your problem.
Correct.
Because the $9.2 million hard cash gone, that one gone already. You know, it's like nothing can be done about that. But what we owed people after everything was sold and everything, when we liquidated everything, was $880,000.
Yeah.
So I had to tell myself, okay, 3 years, you need to come out of this. And then you work. And when you work, you must have an outcome in mind. You must have a work ethic. And every month, sometimes you'll fail, sometimes you'll succeed. You need to reward yourself, and it's a work ethic.
Correct.
And when you come out, finally, I came out after 3 years and 8 months it took to come out of it financially. And I was exhausted, but I was also happy, you know. But I learned a lot. It was a huge learning journey. So, but it was fun. I really enjoyed it. And people will ask me whether I'll do it again if I go through something like this. And my answer is yes. My answer is yes. I will make better decisions, but I'm not afraid of the failure purely because I think it makes you a better person.
Correct. So you mean to say that you have to convince yourself that you're not a bad, you're a good. It's just that time was not with you. As simple as that, right? Yeah. So I think
you won't have anybody on your side.
Correct,
you won't have anybody on your side. Your closest friends will say bad things about you. Sometimes even your own family members will say bad things.
I understand.
Yeah, you know, and you got to conquer that part. You know, it's like that is it's not the money. The 809 or even $1 million or 2 million. Some people, you know, like I think that recently there's a guy who 3 years ago was minus $60 million, but now he's worth $1 billion. You know, but it's the ridicule we go through. You know, it's like the noise. It's not the money. The money is money. It's hard. It's a tangible thing. But you have to recover emotionally. You have to recover psychologically.
That's very, very important. I agree. So you had to go through emotional loss as well as financial loss both, and you're all alone.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. All alone.
Okay. So I want to ask you one thing, that because at your age, normally I've seen, especially when it comes to the Asian people, they would like to probably get stable in their life. They want to have family. They want to have a secure life. They want to have proper income every month. And they're not willing to take a lot of risk. But you're not like that. You're like, absolutely, because I know you from my Singapore days, where I also saw you that you always kept on keep on trying something new here and there. So what was that thing which always motivates you to keep on trying something new in your life and not giving up and not living a proper mediocre life?
Okay, first of all, I hate the word mediocre. I absolutely hate it. You know, I don't want anything. Even if I play basketball, I better be the best player then.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll somehow, even though I'm old, right, I'll somehow try my best.
Yeah.
You know, and those people who play basketball maybe know that.
Yeah.
You know,
I know.
and yeah, and the same thing goes to my football. Same thing goes to the way I drive car. Everything. The same attitude. My goal was very simple. My goal was not to be rich. My goal was to be a very, very good coach, a very good person who that does something for human beings. If I can make money in that process, great.
Yeah.
You know, so I because I model after people like Mahatma Gandhi. I model after people like Bill Gates. More Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs didn't want to be a billionaire. He wanted to make the world's best companion.
Yeah.
You know, so I wanted to do something for education, and in that particular process was a lot of ups and downs. Stable income and everything doesn't excite me. I hate the word stable. I like excitement. You know, I like excitement. So it was very simple. You know, it's like if Bill Gates can turn Apple into $1 trillion company, can I build $1 billion educational company? That was the challenge. That was really the challenge. I know Score Campus, the physical space cannot do it unless you got, I don't know, 2 million students around the world or something, you know. But I was thinking to myself, wait a second, can I go online? Can I build something virtual? So my virtual journey, even though my app only came out this year, my virtual journey started in 2014. I started building it. Of course, it was a lot more expensive back then. So I started building it. I made some money here. Then I realized, oh, this thing is good. But what is so good about it was students can be connected around the world. Now, how did Facebook become $100 billion company? Why? I know Byju's does it differently. Byju's does content based and everything. I wanted to build something different, right? So the drive is like, first of all, can you be the best educator on the planet? That's the first question I asked myself. And my answer was a yes. My answer was a yes. Second thing is, do you think education is $1 billion industry? My answer was also a yes. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, this is, you see, for me, I follow I don't know whether, I think you're from India, so you know this. India is the only country that, you know, Pan.
Yeah, I know Pan.
Pan, you know, and then of course, you know, the packet shampoo as well, the packet shampoo. So India is the only country that sells packet shampoo because they sell it for 1 rupee, but every day, right, about 300 million people will buy it.
Absolutely.
So that was like, then you start calculating, it's like 300 million rupees per day.
Per day, yeah.
You know, so I was asking myself, if a person, okay, Byju's does it differently, 65,000, 45,000 rupees per student per subject. I asked myself, can I charge 1 rupee per person? Or in Singapore is $1 per person. Can I charge $1 per person? And the answer was yes.
Okay.
So what if end up 1 million people paid me $1 per day? So that was the answer came up to $365 million. So I was like, okay, now how do I build an educational community that gives me that? So over the last 5 years, that's my venture.
Okay, so talking about your venture, if you can brief us that what is the Score Campus all about?
Score Campus is an education ecosystem.
Okay.
Now you have learned, I think we've heard about content management system, learning management system. Now learning management system is I give you content, you take exam, I give you data. A learning ecosystem is a place I go to learn. It's just a place. I want to learn here because the place is exciting. I find my purpose. I make my friends. I have my groups. You know, I've got somebody guiding me. It's a perfect place, and it really doesn't cost a bomb to be a part of Score Campus. You know, it costs, like I said, depending on what country you're from. If you're from Singapore, it most probably will cost you $1 per day. If you're from India, it will most probably cost you about maybe 2 rupees or 3 rupees per day, depending on which country you're from. And it's curriculum agnostic, and it's content agnostic, and it's syllabus agnostic. So it really doesn't matter where you're from. It's a place for you to come and learn together, because when you learn together, when we can make a whole bunch of students from all over the world do projects and learn together, I think the world will be a better place 10 years, 15 years down the road.
Nice.
Because right now, the world is as shitty as it gets. The amount of racism, the amount of Everything is just stupid and crazy. And I've never seen this kind of crazy. I mean, I've been around for 50 years of my life. I've seen some craziness, but over the last 2 years, the craziness is an all-time high.
So do you think that the conventional way of schooling now need to be changed?
Very much. Oh, this current system has to be abolished.
Okay.
Throughout the world, this entire, I go to school, I study for 7 hours, has to be flushed down the system.
Correct.
Has to be flushed down the toilet.
Correct. So how does core campus has any difference from the conventional school of way of schooling? I mean, what differentiate core campus?
Conventional way of, okay, first of all, we are not a school, even scorecampus.com. In a school, you go to a school to study English, math, science.
Yes.
Right? But if I ask you a question, what do you remember most about school? Your answers would be what?
Hardly anything. Hardly.
But
because,
friends.
Friends, correct.
You remember friends. You remember sports. You remember basketball. And the same thing goes to me. What do you miss about school? Oh man, I miss my friends. I miss the parties. I miss the basketball. So from that answer, and I think 99% of the world will give this answer. I think maybe the 1% will say, oh, I miss physics or I miss science. Maybe 1% will say that.
Yeah.
So from this answer, we can automatically assume that you don't have to go to school for content. You can learn content somewhere else, right? The second thing is, if you are going to miss all your friends, so why don't we create a space for you to meet all your friends?
So learning along with fun.
Learning along with fun and friends. Right? Okay. And learning made relevant as well. So in the sense that instead of figuring out how to do physics, instead of learning what to do in physics, why don't we learn the why and the how? Why must I learn forces? Why must I learn friction? Why must I learn electricity? And then after I decide on the why, how do I go about learning it? And the why and the how are very, very important. What the world has been focusing on the last 250, 300 years is only the what. What did you learn? What did you? Our parents will always ask us the same question. What did you do? What did you do in school today? What we want to ask is, why do you need to learn this? And how are you going to go about learning this? It's very important. And I think today's technology allows us to do that.
Absolutely. I totally agree, because I think I've seen in India also now these days, people usually go to school and their objective is to get the scores. That's all. So what they do, before the examination, they mug up everything. They go to school, they write examination, and after examination, they get the result and they're over. The thing is, so if you ask them anything, they don't have much idea about the other aspect of their life. They only know about 2 plus 2, 4. That's all. Right. So that's interesting to know. And, okay, one more thing what is that thing which you think that makes you apart from the normal crowd which you have in Singapore or a different part of the world? Like why Gabriel is different in terms of, and as an individual?
I think the whole world will either focus on what kind of a school they are building. The whole world is focused on curriculum. The whole world will focus on syllabus. The whole world will focus on exams and grades. I think Gabriel, and more importantly, Score Campus and Gabriel focuses on the student. You know, we have always been focused on the happiness and the well-being of students. When they smile, they will do well.
Right.
If they only do well, but they don't smile, I want parents to realize that that's a problem.
Correct.
You know, your child has to smile. Your child has to be happy. We all want to be happy. How many times in our life we have gone through crap and then we always tell ourselves, oh man, I want to be happy in life. I want to be happy in life. How come when it comes to students, we don't even look at that? Right? Yeah. So the only thing that I feel that has always set us apart is we focus on the child's well-being and happiness. And we do that. We don't just talk about it. We do it. Our lessons are fun. Our activities are fun. We have a lot of fun over here. Score Campus has become a happy place for many, many students. And we're very proud of that.
Well, that's lovely. Lovely to know. In fact, it's very important to have that passion. If you really want to have some venture or something in life, it's very important to have that passion from inside.
Very much.
So the thing is, now you are probably in your late 40s. You have family. You have 3 kids now. You have wife to take 50. Okay. 50. You're 50 now. You have 3 kids. You have a lovely wife. So your venture is not very old, still very new and still struggling kind of thing. So what if, unfortunately, that things will not kick off? For example, what if you fail? What?
Okay, the thing is, I again would like to quote basketball. You know, when you enter a game, your objective is to win.
Yes.
When you enter a game, you cannot say, what if you lose?
Yes.
So I always say failure and winning, victory, right? These are all not options. It's not an option. It's an outcome. So failure is not an option. So the goal is to win. But let's say in the event, if you fail, so that there are two options, right? Quit, do something simpler in life.
Yeah.
Or second option, which is most probably my option, is do something even better.
Yeah, lovely. So in fact,
Yeah.
so okay, that is what the whole point thing is, that is why the purpose of having this daring mind is that what makes Gabriel to be that daring in life, because you don't belong to a rich family, you belong to a normal family, you have a normal wife, you have a normal family, I mean you have a normal life, right? So what is that thing which always make you more daring to take all this audacious decision in your life?
I think it's a few things. I think daring is a very beautiful word, but comes with daring is a little bit of substance. So the word struggle also has to change. Like if we were not making a single dollar, that means it's a very bad business. Then you have to change the way you work.
Yeah.
So right now, Score Campus is roughly about an $8 million company right now.
Okay.
Of course, when it started, it was worth zero.
Yeah.
So I always advise businessmen, have a very calculated method of working. You're worth $0 now. You're worth now how much here? How much here? And then you evaluate yourself. And that evaluation is very important. It's a self-evaluation. Because you cannot go home broke every night and expect your family to be happy.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, you just cannot. It just won't work. You will lose somebody. You will either lose your business or you will lose your family. And these are all part and parcel of business. So to produce is a responsibility. You cannot say, oh, I started a business or people are not buying. No. You can't say that. It's your business. You better make people buy.
Absolutely. I agree with you.
So the thing is, yes, my family is not very wealthy, but they are crazy supportive. So one thing that was a beautiful gift for me is the fact that my father and my mom both passed on, all very supportive. My sister, everybody is extremely supportive. What makes me tick every day is because I think that it depends on who you are as a person. There are some people who are very, very happy in a job.
Yep.
Okay. And there are some people who are very happy in simple business. I buy a handphone and I buy earpiece and then I sell earpiece. I buy earpiece in China for $5 and I sell $10 here.
Yeah.
There's another kind of businessman. Some people who buy franchises, safer. Or I need to buy a Subway or a McDonald's franchise, very safe. Confirm people will come and buy.
Yeah.
And then there are other people who are like me who want to change an entire system. So I think that the people who will suffer the most is my category, because we are the ones who are the what you call we want to change everything.
Change maker.
Yeah, the change maker. So the change maker, you must be ready for an up and down roller coaster ride of life.
Absolutely correct.
It comes with the package. Don't ever think that your life will be like that. Your life will most probably start off like that and then go dive. And then after that, you'll come like that. And then after a while, it will stabilize. I think right now where we are is we have gone through this. We are now here stable.
Okay.
And we are on the way up. That's where we are right now. But it took us 8 years to get here.
Correct. So that's really good to know.
It's 8 years of fight. And I always tell young business people is like recently one lady came to us for coaching. She saw my learning center. She saw the number of students in my learning center. So we casually made a statement. She was like, oh, wow, you got so many students at your center. And I was like, oh, yeah, we worked hard for it. So right next to my center, she opened her own. She opened her own. She even copied some of our designs of our room and everything. So I said, I was very happy for her. I was like, well done, man. I think that you should carry on with this. 6 months later, she closed. Then I asked her what happened. Oh, I'm not making an income. Then I said, don't ever come into business with a 6-month plan.
Yep.
Don't ever do that. Those people who believe that, 6 months I can buy a BMW, right? Stay where you are. If it happens to you, God bless you. You're very lucky. You're very blessed.
Yep.
If it happens to you, you're very, very blessed. You're just at the right place at the right time, And it has happened to maybe 1 or 2 people in the world. But majority of us have to fight until suddenly one day everything changes.
Yeah.
But of course, if you have been struggling for 20, for me, I struggled for a long time. It was up and down. When I made money, where I made a lot of money. When I didn't make money, I lost a lot of money. So it was a different kind of learning. So I had to convince myself: are you a person who's not meant to be successful, or are you a person who doesn't know how to manage his business?
Correct.
So again, I had to convince myself. Then I said, okay, you know what? I think I managed my business very badly. And then I had to change accordingly. But I had a lot of changes to go through. And when you are the boss, when you are the founder, when you want to be a part of this daring mind society, you have to realize that it's a very, very lonely life.
It is
all
for sure.
alone. Yeah, you're all alone here, and nobody will understand you. Nobody. A lot of people may not even like you.
Absolutely.
The way you talk changes, the way you walk changes, the car you drive changes, the games you play changes, everything changes, and some people may not like it. So that's another thing people have to be ready for, is this lonely life. And maybe all these business people can get together. That's what we do. In Singapore, a whole bunch of us get together and say, we talk about everything in life.
And that's going to be prolonged process, not like 1 month or 2 months. It's going to be prolonged one. So you have to be very, very mentally strong. Very, very mentally strong.
Very
right?
much. You never know what goes wrong. You never know.
Correct.
You might have a lot of money in the bank, but you might have other problems.
Correct.
One of your staff may have done something stupid and it may have become a legal issue. There are so many things that you must be ready. You must always be ready. People always think it's only money. Absolutely not. It's money.
Not at all.
It's people. It's growth. It's a lot of things. Legalities.
Correct. So Gabriel, what is success for you? I mean, if you can brief us about your definition of success. What is success for you?
I think for me, my definition of success is when you have a vision, and if you feel that about 50% of your vision has been accomplished by you, by your definition, you've succeeded. When you have a vision and you feel that 50% of your vision has been accomplished, you've succeeded. I have always felt very sorry for Mr. Steve Jobs. He struggled for 22 years. And then finally, Apple became a multi-billion-dollar company. And then a few years later, he died.
He died,
He died. He couldn't see what is the true beauty of Apple. But he died having achieved 50% of the vision. I don't think he achieved 100%. I think he achieved 50% of the vision and he died, is my opinion. And the same thing for me, I define success that way. You have a goal. You feel something in your heart will tell you, what, you've done well. You've gone after your vision and you've done well. I think that is success. It's all personal. No other people can define that for you.
Correct.
It's your personal definition.
Correct.
It's not your car, nothing else.
Okay. And do you think that having a fear is also very important in life, or you think there's nothing called fear?
Oh man, you better have fear.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is your fear? So what is your biggest fear?
Losing everything.
Okay.
Losing everything.
And how do you overcome it?
What do you mean? Sorry.
I mean, how do you overcome that negative emotion?
For me, there are two words that start with the letter F. One is a 4-letter word called fear. The other one is a 5-letter word called faith.
Faith.
Okay. Yeah, faith. For me, I have faith in God a lot. I also have faith that God made me a person to accomplish something. That is my drive. My drive comes from the fact that God gave me this talent and this skill for a reason. He didn't give it to that guy. He didn't give it to that guy. He didn't give it to the other guy. He gave it to me. And I'm supposed to take that faith and do something with it. That skill and do something with it. And that is really what I think you better be scared. I think everybody should be scared. If you, a lot of people say it wrongly, or maybe that's their opinion. You should not fear. It's like not true. I think you must have the fear, but you must have the faith to overcome it.
That means like, let's say constructive fear.
We go bungee jumping for the first time. When the fella is tying the band in your legs, you're like, your legs are shaking. And then I don't like it when the fella pushes you. I would like it when you just count 1, 2, 3 and I jump. And I'll overcome my fear. I'll jump.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
this,
Correct.
you know, but don't just stand there and then shiver for another 3 hours or something like that, you know.
Right, right.
Yeah,
I think the best way to overcome the fear is to face it. As simple as
very
that.
much,
Right?
very
Right, right.
much.
Correct.
Yeah,
So,
a lot
so,
of people
so
like to say that sit in Singapore and talk about bungee jumping in Bali, and then
yeah.
we always tell them, you know, you might as well go to Bali and jump. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, correct, correct, correct. So, so what is
Yeah.
the vision of the Score campus? I mean, what do you want to? I mean, I know you mentioned about the creating an education kind of like society and all, but what is the vision in a very simpler form for the Score campus?
Okay. Our purpose statement. Our purpose statement is to connect students around the world through learning.
Okay.
That's purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Our vision is 3 vantage points. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
our 3 vantage points. The first vantage point is a parent vantage point.
Okay.
So I always tell parents, your student must be a part of SCORE campus. You know why? Because they should be a part of SCORE campus because so that you can be a parent at home.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your child doesn't deserve a teacher, disciplinarian, the maths master. It doesn't. It needs a father. It needs a mother.
Yeah.
Your child needs a father and a mother. So I work in SCORE campus so that you can be a parent at home. That is vantage point vision number one.
Right.
Vantage point vision number two is from a teacher standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers are now seen as lousy professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Teachers are the lousiest professionals in the world right now. You know,
Right.
nobody's got any respect for teachers. So my statement to teachers, my vision for teachers is earn more money, make more money, live a beautiful lifestyle, travel the world, widen your mind, become the greatest educator on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's my second vision for teachers. My vision for students is when you put your mind to it, right, the whole world is yours to take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 10 years ago, you come and tell me there's such a thing called YouTuber, we will all laugh at you.
Yeah, yeah, correct,
You
correct.
know, but now you are YouTuber
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're 20 years ago, you tell your mom, "My mommy, I want to be a YouTuber." Your mom will be
Yeah, 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 correct, correct,
like,
correct.
so the whole world is a blank canvas, and you are
Mm-hmm.
able to tell a student, right, grow up, be happy, be adventurous,
Mm-hmm.
do everything and anything you want, and then let's just solve problems, become a better human being. It's three
Mm-hmm.
vantage points, and the purpose is very simple. You know, it's like education makes the world better when
Mm-hmm.
you don't focus on syllabus and content and
Mm-hmm.
curriculum. When you focus on the student, and if a student from Singapore, Nigeria, India, Africa, and Germany can learn together, I tell you, I think 30 years from now, the world will be beautiful.
Lovely. So your Score campus currently you have operations in Singapore and India as well, right?
And Indonesia.
Indonesia.
No, India, we closed it because of COVID.
Okay.
We opened a new place in Indonesia, in Jakarta.
Indonesia. Okay. So any further
Yeah.
plans for expansion now?
Yes, there is. We are planning our first center in California next year.
Oh, okay.
Our base to be in California, and we really want to explore. We were really excited about Myanmar before the civil war,
Mm-hmm.
but we are still excited about Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
We are still excited about Malaysia as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So because now we've gone into technology, a few more people are interested in us. It's a little bit easier to scale.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a slightly easier method of work right now. You know, I think we've made all our mistakes and we've come up with a better plan now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think you mentioned about that kids being happy and the things about happiness and all. So I've seen in today's world that people have a lot of money, they have nice lifestyle. I mean, though they claim that they are happy, but if you ask me, they're not. It's not like authentic happiness. You know, there's the term called authentic happiness. So where you need to have happiness from inside. So if something make me happy in terms of if I buy iPhone or if I buy like a car, it
Yeah.
makes me happy. So for me, it's not an authentic happiness. It's just a temporary
Right.
happiness, right? So I
Yeah.
totally agree with you that now in today's schooling curriculum, we don't focus on these things. We focus more on the academics because you have to become engineer, you have to become doctor. Whether kids happy or
Yeah.
not, no one is bothered at all. Trust me, no one at all, right? So Gabriel, like in your journey of this Score campus and also the other venture which you had before, what are your biggest sacrifices? Because without sacrifice, you can't achieve success, right? So what if you can share those things with us?
I think sacrifice has to be understood very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Sacrifice is a must do. Again, it's part of the package.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you, in the beginning you have to sacrifice a lot of your time.
Correct.
You have to sacrifice a lot of your time. Money is automatic. Money will go out in money will go out faster than a Formula One car.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
you have to sacrifice a lot of fun, because every dollar you have is important. You can't just go outside and buy a beer and start having fun with your friends. You have to sacrifice time with your family. I think most importantly, you have to sacrifice some level of emotional happiness, because the beginning years are very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but as you get better, as long as you don't make too many serious mistakes, as you get better, things get better. But you should work towards a time whereby something in your heart must tell you that you're happy. Like what you just said, it's not the iPhone, it's not the BMW, it is not the condominium or car that is making you happy. Something in your heart will tell you that, you know what, your life is pretty good. You're living it, I think the sacrifices are part of the game, and you should, after a while, you should enjoy the sacrifices. You sacrifice early. By the time you get married and you have children, you might be in a better place.
Yeah.
But if you start your entire journey when you have a wife and 5 kids or something like that, then it's a very tricky place.
Yeah, it is for sure.
It's a very tricky place, when you're young, when you have no wife, no girlfriend, no children, no nothing, man, go for it, do whatever you want, because that's the time to do it. But when you have a wife, when you have 3 kids, when parents to take care of, families to take care of, you've got to learn how to play the game differently. I always call it the young man's basketball game and the old man's basketball game. The young man's basketball game is you run around like a crazy person and you take shots from everywhere. The old man's basketball game is you know exactly where to stand, exactly where to catch the ball, exactly where to shoot. It's still the game, but you play it differently.
Correct.
Yeah. And the same thing goes to business.
So it is like a full court and half court, but still the game.
Yeah, it's still the game. It's how you play it. Yeah. And now I'm a lot older. I'm 50 years old, so I don't work 20 hours anymore. I work exactly 7 hours per day. But 7 very good, very effective hours. Last time when you're younger, when you're 28, 29 years old, you sit down in the office for like 20 hours, chill, computer will be on and all that stuff. And time was not a problem. Now it is. Your baby wants you, your son wants you, your daughter wants you, your wife wants you.
Correct.
Your friends want to meet up with you, and you've got to network. There are a lot of other things that you've got to do.
And you also, our body tends to also become slower because as we grow old, it also becomes slow, right?
Yeah, your body deteriorates, so you got to keep healthy, eat the right food,
Correct.
Exercise.
Correct.
All that comes into play.
Right.
But enjoy the journey. That's the most important.
That's very important.
You must enjoy the journey. You will have doubts. You will have fear. You will have all the negative things creeping inside your head. But when you enjoy the journey, the negative will disappear after a while.
Right. So last question, what kind of message do you want to give to the world? Because why I'm saying is, because I know few people in my life, they are very good. They are very good in terms of the academics, in their job, in their wealth and all. But the thing is, they lack that audacious attitude, They still have this fire inside, but they don't have the ability to take a risk. They still want to take a risk in their own comfort zone. And they are like in their 40s, in their early 30s, in their early 50s and all, but they want to do something, but they just talk. But they lack that fire from inside. And you know what? The thing is that they have good amount of money in their account. They have got a nice family. Everything is stable. But they still have this, whether you call it fear or whether you call it lack of confidence, I don't know. So because you being at that age group, you're still trying hard to make a big thing in life. You want to try, live your own life as per your own terms, right? So what kind of message do you want to give to the world, Gabriel, as far as your story is concerned?
Oh, okay. The first thing is, risk and comfort don't equal each other. Risk only has to happen in the uncomfortable part. So those people who want comfort, seriously stay away from business.
Right.
Stay away from business. Now the next thing is, now you understand risk already. So we've got various stages of risk, various levels of risk. Or you want a low risk kind of a business, then you can become a very simple online salesperson.
Yeah.
I buy things from Amazon and I sell here. I buy things from Alibaba and I sell it. You can do that kind of, practically most probably you have to invest is in the computer.
Correct.
You know, and maybe build a small little website for you to do e-commerce, and then you're ready for your business.
Correct.
Some people have generated a lot of money.
Right.
And then the next level of risk is your small business manufacturing risk. After that, you got your franchise risk. So it depends. I think the most important question is, what is your risk tolerance? What is your risk tolerance, and what kind of a business person are you?
Mm-hmm.
Are you a buy from somebody, sell to somebody type, or are you a person who designs your own things? Are you a person who manufactures? Are you a person who wants a franchise? You want to be a chef? So McDonald's and Gordon Ramsay are both food. McDonald's is the franchise. Gordon Ramsay creates his own ideas.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a businessman are you?
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your game changers.
Mm-hmm.
So in this thing called risk, you've got the simple $2,000 business all the way to the God knows your entire life will be invested inside business.
Correct.
What's your tolerance of risk? You know, but if you've got zero tolerance and you want to take risk in a comfortable area, stay in your job, regardless of what money you have.
Right.
Stay in your job, and because that's your idea. Mm-hmm. You know, nothing wrong with that. I think if everybody needs to work for somebody. Yeah.
Correct.
But if you are a person who wants to do business and you keep talking, maybe you have to tell yourself, maybe I'll talk for another 6 months. After that, I'll decide. Yeah. And I'll stop talking after that. Yeah. You know, because you're right. I've heard of people who sometimes you get together after 5 years. Mm. Then 5 years ago, you would have been talking the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then 5 years later, you'll say the same thing. And then you feel like inside your heart, you'll be like, no, shut up.
Yeah.
Tell me a new story, tell me something else, that I didn't hear the last time I spoke to you.
Correct. Yeah. I think because I feel that if you don't work hard, if you don't follow a passion, how can you mentor your kids? Because thing is, when your kids become old and all, and when they have an issue in their life, how can you educate them? Because thing is, one is, okay, go give them money and be happy. Second is mentor them. So you can't mentor your kids if you don't have a struggling background. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah, so that's the thing. So it's very lovely to talk to you, Gabriel, and I wish you really good luck. And I really hope that the Score Campus will become the next big thing in Singapore and also the other part of the world for sure. And looking for for more kind of news from your side. And again, thank you so much for your time. And I really wish you good luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you too, Vish. Thanks, man.
Thank you, bro.